Hey folks, Alex Reisman here again. This is our overview of the course and the syllabus. Get ready because it's pretty exciting. We are going to be talking about Education 403, which is the Educational Research class. Let me say a couple things about the course. So one is, and let me highlight this as we're going through it, really this online-only section was developed with working professionals and distant students in mind. The idea was that this is a very important course for really every program in the College of Education, or anyone who's doing any kind of educational research or works with the research in their own professional capacity, whatever that is. And it's something that is not often offered online, especially if people are at a distance. It's sometimes difficult to get this course into their schedule unless you come here over the summer. And this is a way for you to do the course, get all the same content, but do it in a condensed format so that you are able to really expose yourself to everything that you need to know about educational research and create a research proposal that hopefully will be useful to you moving forward, but do it at your own pace, albeit a fast and condensed pace, and do it in a shorter format. So the good thing is, whether you're near or far, you can do this. It's asynchronous, meaning that we're not online at the same time necessarily, so you can work at your own pace. You can do things out of order if you'd like, although I do recommend starting at the top and going to the bottom and working through that way. So what are we doing? We are studying the nature and functions of research and evaluation in education. Research and evaluation are partner concepts. In a nutshell, research is intending to answer some sort of question or explore some sort of phenomenon. Evaluation is a little different in that it does those things, but it's usually driven by client needs. That's not always going to be the case, but often the case. You're evaluating on behalf of someone who wants to know something about a program or a project or something that they've done. Have they met their objectives? Have they achieved their goals? Those sorts of things. The common types of investigation are going to be quantitative research and qualitative research. The easiest way to think about those is that quantitative is numbers-based. You're counting things and then you're analyzing the numbers that are associated with certain things. So we can give a lot of things numbers and call it quantitative. We can look at the frequencies. We can look at the averages. We can look at there's a way to calculate how things vary. So there are lots of ways that we can use numbers to explain what's going on. Another type of investigation is qualitative. Qualitative is much more word-based or narrative-based or observation-based. It is what most, I think, people are comfortable with, especially if they don't consider themselves mathematicians. Although I will say right off the bat that you really don't have to know a lot about math to be good at quantitative research. But qualitative is often the default because it is a way of talking about research. The important thing is, though, that either way, whether you're doing quantitative or qualitative research or you're doing some sort of mixed approach, you want to make sure that you are doing it with as much integrity as possible, that you're doing it ethically, that you're using methods that are appropriate and replicable, meaning that you could repeat them later if you wanted to. Those are all important elements to consider. Okay, so we'll be looking at a lot of things. I've just given you sort of my short version of what quantitative and qualitative means. You'll have more on that later in the course. We'll also be looking at the basics of quantitative and qualitative methods in some videos and other readings. Appropriate uses of empirical data, that means data that you have observed or you can see or you can collect, and how to write a research proposal. All right? And then you're going to be informed users of research for educational decision making and hopefully evidence-based policy development. So if you are someone in your school or in your workplace who has the opportunity to use data to make decisions or to develop policies that will guide the kinds of actions that happen in your context, in your school, in your whatever, then this is a good course for you because we can look at what good research looks like and you can see how to develop that and how to use that information in a way that makes the most sense. And then at the end of the course, you will do a complete research proposal. Now, it's not like we're saving it up until the end. This is something that you will be contributing to throughout the course. So every assignment in this course becomes a part of that final assignment. In other words, you're working on the final assignment every day of the class. Does that make sense? So the goal is not for you to do a whole bunch of things that are just busy work, and then there's a really important assignment at the end. The goal is that you are creating this research proposal day by day, systematically, methodologically, but you're working on it in a way that makes the most sense for you. All right? And hopefully it's something that you can use for your thesis, for grants, or for other research projects. So it's very important that you have a research question, or at the most, or at the least, I should say, a detailed research topic at the start of this class. You have to have that. If you don't have that, then we need to have a discussion, or we need to have an email exchange, or something needs to happen so that you have a question that you're asking that you can then base all of your assignments on moving forward. Okay, modes of instruction. So I want to point out that this is an entirely online class. You're going to have video modules, you're going to have guided peer editing, you're going to have a lot of readings that I'm going to ask you to do on a daily basis. Most of them will be linked through the course site pages. And you're going to have online collaborative experiences. But at the end, you're going to do a complete research proposal, which you're going to be able to use somehow. All right? So let's take a look at the syllabus, and let's go through that. Maybe not briefly, but let's go through it. So this is what the syllabus looks like. You can get there by clicking on, here it is, right here, by clicking there on course site. But I already had it open, so I just moved it over. You will see that it will give you the basics about the course. It will give you my name. Please call me Alex. It will give you our teaching assistant's name. Please call her Patrina. It will give you our email addresses, and it will show you how to schedule an appointment with me if you'd like to meet by Skype or Zoom or something like that. I would like to emphasize that this is a live document. There are always things. I've been teaching at the university now for 15 years. Every time there's at least one small thing. It could just be a misspelling or a wrong word. There's always something that has to be corrected because quite frankly, you, the students, read the syllabus very carefully, and you tell me, hey, there's something that should be updated. Or we might decide that maybe the way that it was explained wasn't making sense when we hear a bunch of questions about a particular assignment or reading or whatever. And so we'll adjust that in the syllabus so that it will make more sense to those who follow. So please always come back to this live version. You can get to it by clicking here. If you print this off and you want to just type in the URL, this is it, and it will always bring you back to this complicated thing. Okay, the goal of the course, I've just sort of given you that. The modes of instruction, I've given you that. Academic integrity, here's the thing, don't cheat, don't plagiarize, and don't be rude or disrespectful to your classmates or to me, and you'll be fine. I don't think any of you are going to do that, but I do want to point that out, that it's important. Please be aware, especially about plagiarism in a class like this. If you are using an idea that is not originally yours, then it needs to be cited. You need to have a reference to where that came from. All right? If it's common knowledge stuff, like the sky is blue, no need for a reference. If it's less common knowledge stuff, stuff that you would not know unless you'd read it somewhere or somebody else had told you, then you should try to cite it. All right, so that's the most important thing. Next, if you have a disability for which you are or may be requesting accommodations, please contact me and the Office of Academic Support Services. If you're on campus, you can go to the University Center. If you're not, you should call that phone number as early as possible, not in the semester, but as early as possible. I'm just going to say right now because you don't have a semester. You must have documentation from Academic Support Services before I can grant any sort of real accommodations. I will do everything I can to make it worth your while to do that. All right? So if you have a need, please contact them. We will make all the accommodations that are required or that are helpful or that whatever. The goal is to make this course and content and assignments as accessible to you as possible. I said this already, but I'll say it a little bit again. Hey, we are let's be nice to each other. Let's respect each other's opinions. I will respect yours. You respect mine. Please be nice to each other. Even though we're not face-to-face, we have an opportunity to interact on a lot of different levels. You are going to be critiquing each other's work, but we're critiquing constructively. We're not critiquing in a way that is, in any way could be construed as being disrespectful or not aware of particular viewpoints or perspectives. All right, so that's a pretty easy one to do. Just be nice. Okay, if you're worried about grading, here it is. I like things that add up to 100. This adds up to 100. You will see that there are low points early, and then it gets big really fast. But you do have something that you're doing every day. You will receive a percentage of your grade on all of that. Part of your daily participation will consist of creating video feedback. So I want to point out that 3 times during the course, you will be asked to create a video response using some rubrics that we've provided you on course site to give feedback to the other members of your research group. And you should be giving enough feedback that will help your colleagues improve their writing. Now, you may say, well, I'm not qualified to do that, or I've just started this course too, so how can I get feedback? Well, that's why we have provided you with rubrics. The good news is you're all graduate students at Lehigh University. That means you're already here. We're just asking you to use that high level that you're bringing with you into the program and the rubrics that we provided to help you see what you should be looking for to provide comments. You'll be using Screencast-O-Matic, which is what I'm using right now, to record videos where you give feedback, as well as you'll have some rubrics that you'll be writing into 3 times over the 8-day course. All right. There are Dropbox links on course site, and sample videos regarding how to upload your video and how to provide feedback will also be found on course site as soon as possible. They're probably there as you're watching this. And then there will be varying percentages on the daily application activities that are listed at the bottom of each day's description on course site. You have one book. It is this book. Quite frankly, you can find copies of the text here, but I think all of the relevant chapters are already PDF links on the website. So please use the PDF links. I think that's easier than purchasing, unless you would like some sort of bound copy. That's up to you, but just know that you will be using this text. Okay, course site contains all of this information on a day-to-day basis. And so I'm not going to go through this because I'm going to go through each day individually in the other videos, the intro videos for each day. But if you want a summary of everything, here it is. Right, so this shows what's on the course site. What you'll be missing is the video links and the actual content for the learning modules. Okay, so this is a summary of every day's work. You're going to go from top to bottom, remember, and that's it. That's your syllabus. Okay, so the course, we were just here. You are now overviewed. I would like to point out a couple of things. One is, first, you need to create a video introduction of yourself, including your name, location, and a description of your intended research topic to be used for the course's assignments. You're going to save your video introductions as MP4 files, and then you're going to share those with your classmates by submitting your video through the Dropbox that's linked here. Later in the day, on January 12th, or by that time, you could always do this ahead of time, you're going to post a paragraph description of your intended research topic and 2 sample research articles, one using qualitative methods and one using quantitative methods. Okay? That's going to be important. You can post that here. Use the post intended research topics here. Both of these things need to be done before January 12th. Got it? Wherever you are in the world, do it before January 12th. All right. You're good to go. If you have any questions, you know how to get in touch.